In a village nestled between rolling green hills and a whispering river, there lived a tortoise named Kappa. Unlike the other tortoises who were content with their slow, predictable lives, Kappa had a secret passion. Every night, when the moon climbed high into the sky, casting a silver glow over the land, Kappa would dream of the Moonlight drum. This wasn't just any drum. Legend had it that deep within the heart of the Whispering Woods, there was a clearing where moonbeams gathered. In the center of this clearing stood a drum, carved from an ancient, luminous tree. It was said that the drum only appeared under the light of a full moon, and its rhythm could make the stars dance and the rivers sing. To play it was to connect with the very soul of the night. The other animals in the village often laughed at Kappa's dream. A tortoise playing a drum, scoffed a speedy rabbit. You'd be too slow to even find it, let alone play it. A wise old owl would hoot from his branch. The woods are dangerous, little one. It's a journey for the swift and the strong, not the slow and the steady. But their words didn't deter Kappa. In his heart, he felt the pull of the drum's beat, a silent rhythm that echoed his own patient heartbeat. He spent his days preparing, not by trying to become faster, but by becoming more observant. He learned the patterns of the wind, the language of the rustling leaves, and the paths of the constellations. He knew that his strength wasn't in speed, but in persistence. One evening, as a perfect, full moon began its ascent, Kappa decided the time had come. He bid farewell to his skeptical friends and set off towards the Whispering Woods. The journey was even harder than he had imagined. Thorny bushes snagged at his shell, and winding paths tried to confuse him. He first came across a wide, rushing stream. The rabbit would have leaped over it in a bound, and the deer would have crossed with a few graceful steps. But Kappa was too small and heavy. He felt a moment of despair, but then he remembered his patience. He watched the water flow, and he noticed a line of sturdy, moss-covered stones just beneath the surface, forming a hidden bridge. Carefully, one step at a time, he made his way across, his slow and steady pace ensuring he never lost his footing. Further into the woods, he faced his next challenge, a steep, rocky hill. His short legs struggled to find purchase on the smooth, unforgiving stones. He saw a squirrel scurry up the cliff face with ease, chattering down at him. Again, Kappa didn't give up. He looked closely at the hill and saw a winding, gentler path that spiraled around it, a path that faster creatures would have overlooked in their hurry. It was longer, yes, but it was possible. With unwavering determination, he began his slow, spiraling ascent. As he climbed, the sounds of the forest grew more intense. The shadows deepened, and strange noises echoed through the trees. Fear began to creep into his heart. He thought about the warm, safe burrow he had left behind. But then, through the canopy of leaves above, he saw the bright, unwavering light of the full moon. It felt like a beacon, guiding him forward, reminding him of his purpose. He took a deep breath and continued on, his spirit renewed. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Kappa reached the crest of the hill. And there, below him, was a sight that took his breath away. In a perfectly circular clearing, bathed in an ethereal, silver light, stood the Moonlight drum. It was even more beautiful than the legends described. It seemed to pulse with a gentle energy, its surface glowing as if it had absorbed 1,000 moonbeams. He slowly made his way down into the clearing. The air was still and filled with a magical silence. He approached the drum, his heart pounding not with fear, but with excitement. He was here. He had made it. All the doubt, all the laughter, all the struggle, it had all led to this moment. He stood before the drum, took a deep breath, and gently tapped its surface with his foot. A low, resonant sound filled the clearing. It was a beautiful, pure note that seemed to hang in the air like a star. He tapped it again, this time a little stronger. Another note joined the first, creating a simple harmony. Kappa forgot about being slow. He forgot about the journey. He just felt the music. He began to tap out a rhythm that came from his heart. It wasn't fast or complex. It was slow, deliberate, and full of emotion. It was the rhythm of a patient journey, of overcoming obstacles, of a dream held tight. It was the sound of his own steady, persistent heart, now amplified for the whole forest to hear. The sound traveled through the woods, a gentle, powerful melody. The stars above seemed to shine a little brighter. The leaves of the trees rustled in time with the beat. Down by the river, the water seemed to murmur a soft accompaniment. Back in the village, the other animals heard it. The rabbit stopped in his tracks. The owl's eyes widened. It wasn't the fast, frantic music they were used to. It was something different, something deep and soulful. They followed the sound, their curiosity overriding their skepticism. They arrived at the clearing to find the most incredible scene. Kappa, the slow, simple tortoise, standing beside the glowing moonlight drum, creating the most beautiful music they had ever heard. He wasn't just hitting a drum, he was telling a story. His music spoke of his long journey, of his unwavering hope, and of the quiet strength that lies in being steady and true to yourself. The animals stood in stunned silence, listening. There was no more laughter, only respect. They understood that Kappa's strength was never about speed. It was about his heart, his courage, and his refusal to give up on his dream, no matter how impossible it seemed. From that night on, the legend of the Moonlight Drum changed. It was no longer just a story about a magical object hidden in the woods. It became the story of Kappa, the tortoise who taught everyone that you don't have to be the fastest or the strongest to achieve your dreams. Sometimes, all you need is a steady heart and the courage to take the first step, and then the next, and the next. And that a slow and steady rhythm can create the most beautiful music of all. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed Kappa's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join us for more adventures. See you next time.